Hi, it's Anna from the Heartbeat Hive. I am a lifestyle designer and creative coach for people who want to learn deep focus and expand their creative practice. Today, I want to talk about variety. Variety and the traps of shiny objects. There is a fine line, there is a balance to variety. For creative people, we can become very interested in different subjects at any given time. We can see an opportunity and possibly see the benefits of participating, giving our energy and time to those things, but also forget the other projects that we're working on or the commitments that we have because of that excitement. And it's definitely okay to go and do those things. I think for me, where the problem comes in is when your desire for novelty and variety outweighs your commitment to the things that you know absolutely bring you joy and peace and that you are returning to over and over and over again. And I bet if you sat down with a clean piece of paper and wrote out a little bubble map, which is a practice that I do very often. We're talking about 2 to 3 times a week. From memory, I sit down with a piece of paper and I write out my major focus areas and commitments. And I do this because, one, I don't want the distraction of a phone or a computer, but I'm relying on my memory, my intuition, my desire, what's drawing me to those things, to pull them out and put them on paper. And in this practice, what I find is that the things that I truly, truly love, they always return to every single bubble map. And the things that fall off over the years, I have either lost interest in at the moment, or I've decided that that's not the right season to take on this particular project or continue it. It's okay to change your mind, for sure. It's okay to have seasons and to know when your energy is higher for you to be able to work on certain things that require more energy. In fact, I have a unique method called workflow energy management for this reason. I designed it for myself first, and then I taught a lot of creative people how to use it. What it does is it helps us prioritize based on our given energy on any day, week, or season. But the first thing you have to do is really, really dig into what you are interested in and what keeps returning to you. And sometimes the things that return to us are actually outside perceived obligations, social pressures, what our parents wanted for us, what we think we should be doing, where we should be in life. And those things can be helpful for perspective, but they can also be very dangerous to our self-concept, our self-esteem, because it is basically seeking the external to either dispute or validate what we think and feel at any given moment. And really, we are the people who get to determine those things. So let's get back to variety. When we have variety, we have a diversification of stimuli. I bet also if you wrote down on these pieces of paper the bubble map of your interests, your commitments, the things that maybe even keep you stable and feeling good, your routines, your environments that are required for you to succeed and feel good. If you drew lines between these bubbles and treated them like threads, you would see that you have a blanket. You have a blanket, a fabric that makes up your life. And when some of these things get complicated by, let's say, having too much on your bubble map, having too many commitments, too many obligations that were either decided for you or that you overcommitted to, and that's okay. But realizing, those are actually pulling threads to unravel my blanket. They're not actually helping me. And there's the other side. Taking this opportunity that's new, that's novel, that's creative, that's diversification from what I normally do, is me expanding and growing. And what I'd like to say is that when you feel this, ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm looking to the external for validation? Or am I doing this because I truly, truly want to evolve and grow as an artist, as a creative person? And close your eyes when you do this. Really tune into who you are, who you want to be, and how you see yourself. And then make the decision. And I'm a very slow decision maker, so I like to give it 1 to 2 nights rest so I have perspective. Whenever I'm rushed into a decision, that's not good for me. So, yeah. All right, so continuing on with variety. When you feel pulled in many directions, I would also like for you to ask yourself, am I going in many directions because I am somehow delaying the commitment to simplifying my life or remaining dedicated to 1 or 2 things? For me, as a person, I cannot handle more than about 5 areas of intense focus in my life. I've definitely done more than that, but 5 different areas which have a lot of facets to them, a lot of avenues to them, is a lot. So let's say you have 5 major interests, and each one of those has 3 to 5 branches of avenues or maintenance plans or routines or requirements for you to actively be focusing on them. When you add that up, that it can be a lot. And what I'm getting at with the variety is that the more variety that we have, the more decisions we need to make. That is where the fatigue comes in over time. And you can help yourself by simplifying. When you simplify the variety, if you are in a burnout state, it will help you to become less overwhelmed. It will help you to make better decisions when you simplify. If you are feeling like you are uninspired as well, when you overconsume with more variety, you can feel like, oh, maybe I should go in this direction. Oh, that's a great idea. Maybe I should do a spin on that. What would be my version? Some of that can be really great for inspiring you. But if you do not take any action on your inspiration, then you're simply consuming. And when you overconsume, guess what? You have more decisions to make with all of that stimuli and all of that information. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about variety in relation to simplifying your life. It's great to have variety, but it's also important to remember the more variety you have, the more decisions and intake of stimuli that your brain and you as a person are going to have to sort. And we have seasons like that. Some seasons we want to be super inspired and go out and do everything, go to all these museums and shows and galleries and events. And some seasons we need to retract and reflect and synthesize what we have taken in. And so I'm encouraging you to have a balance of that for yourself. Whatever that looks like for you, make that happen. If you find yourself over-consuming and wanting more and more and more of the variety, stop and say to yourself, what do I already have in my life? What am I already focused on in my life that is incomplete? And am I delaying that process by taking in more and seeking more variety? And some of you might come up with the answer that, yeah, I already have too much going on. I already have plenty of variety in my life, and I actually haven't followed through on a lot of these things. And I'm saying this as someone who has to constantly practice this. All right, that's it for today. I hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to know more about coaching, you can go to my website, heartbeathive.com. And I also have a Google Sheet for sale, if you like those, for my workflow energy management method. So you can click my bio link and or look in the description box and get that information. Thanks a lot and have a really great day.